Let's go.
Hello. Today, I welcome you to the Juiceworms, and I am Wa, and I am joined by Hua over there. Um, and yeah, welcome. Today, we're going to be talking about how to make friends. So, we're going to talk about how we make friends, maybe, or how we can
Oh,
make friends, maybe, or how you can make friends, maybe. So, Nate, for like the friends that you have currently, how did you like become friends with, I guess, most of them or any of them?
I would say a lot of them, well, the ones I currently have, we actually met through work. Even though we already have met years prior, it was just kind of a brief gap moment where we just kind of went our separate ways because we lived like not in the same city, but then we ended up going to the same workplace, like say 7 years later.
Wait, that's interesting. Is it like, were they like church friends or something? Or
Yeah, but
okay.
it was still separate because we never really hung out like we used
Hmm.
to. But then I was really, really young, and usually when you're really, really young and you haven't hit teenagers, is it really right? Like, is it really close? Because you haven't really dealt through anything yet.
Hmm.
And so that right there was like a then we had a brief moment where I literally because I moved away, like I moved
Hmm.
out, and then I ended up finding out that we were all in the same company that we were working at, which is actually kind of interesting.
Yeah, I
And
was like,
then
how does that happen? That's cool.
yeah, it was accidental, and I didn't even know it too. And then I just started getting along with them. We're like, oh my goodness, this was fun. And mind you, I broke up with with a current friend at the same time, so it was like one of those
Hmm.
interesting flows. Process of how though, like how to make friends. I'm pretty shameless when it comes to just talking to people. Um, is it what like is it before like previous me or like current me how to make friends?
I guess current. Let's go with current. How would you make friends now?
Well, I wouldn't because I hate
Fair.
everybody.
It's like
But
you have enough friends at this point, right?
oh,
Like
I'm
you're
very
fine with
satisfied.
not making more.
I am very satisfied. However, I feel like I can never have enough acquaintances.
Yeah, I totally agree. And like, yeah, that comes down to the we both are like obsessed with knowing that connections will get us places.
Hmm.
So yeah, I
I
mean, like, it doesn't hurt to just be courteous to everyone because you never know. Like,
You never know, and it's
show
there's
some
that
basic
opportunity thing.
decency.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I've gotten so many opportunities just by being like a basically decent human being. Like, and like, that's crazy because a lot of people don't do like the bare minimum where you're just not being a jerk. And I'm not trying to glorify myself. I'm just saying, like, just don't be a jerk, you know? Like, it should be simple. Like, even if you hate everyone like we do, but like, you don't be a jerk. Like,
I usually find that you don't necessarily spill all of what you're good at on the first conversation. Don't
right.
come in and be like,
We
oh my
talked
goodness,
about
I
this,
did
yeah.
this, I finished this. I'm like, because at the end of
Then,
the day,
yeah,
nobody cares,
yeah.
right? It's like
I
you haven't
think
given them a reason to care yet.
a good way, yeah, I mean, a good way to make friends is to like get them to talk first, and also like you have like ammunition now. Ammunition? Now you
That's
have,
funny because what if
yeah.
both people who wanted to make friends took that advice and they're just both staring at each other waiting to see if the first
I mean,
one
again, the
talks?
thing, the thing I've said before is like me and like I've heard like a lot of ENTPs say this also is just like when we get to know someone, it's like we share something that seems really like personal to us so that they think we're close, but it's not something that we actually find super like
Hmm,
deep,
I can
which
relate.
I'm sure, yeah, I was gonna say, which I'm sure
Hmm.
you relate to.
Yeah.
So it's like there's that, it's like I'm sharing things that will, and I don't think it's like being fake either, but it's like something that will make them feel close with me, even though it's not something that I would be so upset about if they like shared it. Like, like I understand the moment I tell someone something, they have the right to tell whoever they want. Even if I don't think they should, they could tell
Mm.
whoever they want and they probably will. So if I don't want everyone around them to hear it, then I just won't tell them. Like, whatever.
Yeah, stop it at the bud, right? Nip it at the bud and just
Yeah,
not
like
even.
the person
Yeah.
I could tell is probably like the person who would come to me to tell me. You know what I mean? Like if you tell someone, they're like, oh, I gotta tell my best friend, right? Like, because they share everything. It's like if I'm that person, then they won't go tell other people because like they would want to tell me, and if I've told them it, then like, and if they tell someone else, I don't, I don't really like care.
Yeah. Well, say say you're lonely and you want to make friends in today's world. Aside from like not being the first one to speak up, but say you have no choice, you gotta. What do you think is the first kind of go to?
Um, I mean, it depends on like what I think they might enjoy. Because honestly, I'm
Actually, I
sure
agree
you
with
relate
that.
to this also.
The
Just like,
enjoy thing, because find common ground. Like
yeah,
that's the
like,
first thing you
because
should
like
look
as
for.
far as I go, like again, like jack of all trades, master of none. You know, I'm not very like very focused on like very specific areas in my life or whatever, but I do know like a little bit about a lot.
Hmm.
So I'm sure there's like somewhere where I could relate. And a lot of times, like I pick up on like the hobbies of someone that I hang out with anyway. So if I find out that they like something, then I will start to like probably like it or like look into it. So I mean, in that case, it just depends. Like there are different directions it could go. If they're into self-help, I know a lot of like self-help books. You know, if they're into working out, I like working out, like etc. You know, school
I
stuff.
would say not. Don't put a lot of expectations on the first hit,
Yeah,
because you can't expect that this person. Well, I understand the potential of you could have meet your best friend forever, and you're like, great, that's cute, but you can't have that as your advertisement on the first,
yeah.
door. That doesn't make
I
sense.
don't like it when I meet someone and like, you know, sometimes you do click, but I don't like it when they just it's like when they just assume that we're gonna be best friends and now like I owe them something. You know what I
Oh
mean? Like I
yeah.
don't like that. Like it's okay for us to click and us to like each other, but like you can't be like now you have to like do this, this, and this because we're besties and we click. I'm like, it doesn't really work like that.
Mm-mm.
Even if I feel the connection. So
Yeah,
there's that.
absolutely not. I find that so gosh, I remember this girl talking about like does my friends of my friends count as friends?
you
And then
you
you're like,
texted me that and I was
and I
like,
was
why
like,
would they be
no.
your friends if
You
they're
don't know
literally not
them.
your friends? They can be your friends if you become friends with them,
You have to
but
act,
they're
it
not
takes
by
right?
default your friends. Like imagine if I thought that like your in real life friends were my friends.
Ugh,
I'd be like that's some crazy, like that's a little bit of crazy over
a
there.
little
Like
kooky. Yeah, it's a little kooks
yeah,
going on.
like
So for the folks that are listening, if this is exactly what you are going through like in your mind, turn that off now because they're not your friends. Like
you'll
give
just
the,
be disappointed. Like protect yourself a little bit,
there we
you
go.
know?
That's, yeah, I didn't want to mean to roast them in that sense, but
Yeah.
it is more of a protection to yourself
Like
because
it's
you're setting
yeah.
yourself up.
Like it's okay to be kind, it's okay to be generous and be nice to people, but you should still have a little bit of a boundary in your head because otherwise you're just like it's not always good to just be giving all the time because you will like it just it won't work out.
Plus, you don't really want to come off desperate
Yes. The
because
less nice way to say it, but
yeah.
yes.
Well, here's the sad part about it is what if you are desperate? Like, let's just put it out there. What if you really are in
Okay.
need of,
If
right?
you
Like,
are desperate, you still like okay, let's say you're just so lonely, right? And like you're desperate and like you don't have any friends around you. Let's say you had a falling out with your whole friend group. Like that
hmm,
like I get that, but like there's still steps you have to go through to like go through this correctly. I say correctly. There's not one correct way to do it, but like
that's
if
true.
you go in
Hmm.
too fast and you're just trying to invest completely, what if you like, you know, that's how you get into toxic relationships because you're lonely, you know? And
Yeah.
it's like it's gonna be more pain in the long run. Like it's better to like as much as it'll suck, like to deal with the loneliness as it comes and try to, you know, build it up again from the bottom, like from the beginning. Because I
Because
think
it,
it's too easy to just like jump into an unhealthy relationship after something like that.
I agree, and also asking yourself what do you actually want out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Because like if you don't even have that in your mindset already, then entering that game is gonna set you up for more sabotage, failure,
Yeah.
all that kind
It's
of stuff.
not that you have to know what kind of relationship you're going to have when you meet someone, but it's not a bad idea to think, oh, like, does this like benefit me at all? Yeah, I mean, like, it's like sometimes you have to think, like, does it benefit me at all? Because sometimes, like, you just don't have time for any relationship. Sometimes you really don't.
I remember on the topic of loneliness, by the way, I was watching this TikTok and she said that she was buying stuff from the grocery and then the grocer's hand accidentally brushed on her hand and then she had a moment and then the grocery goes, "Oh no, I'm so sorry. I'll get you some hand sanitizer. I didn't mean that." And she goes, "No, no, don't worry about it. I'm just lonely."
I'm deleting TikTok right now. What's that? I'm deleting it. It's
She's
a
just lonely.
delete app.
I don't know what that's
There
like.
we
I'm sorry,
go.
just I don't.
Anyway,
Yeah.
we're gonna close out our video around here. It became kind of preachy, but
I hope it didn't. If anything, like what's the best way? Learn to live with yourself is kind of my game.
yeah,
Like the actual tea.
literally, like get so comfortable with yourself where when you're alone, you don't feel lonely because you're there.
Yeah, and don't necessarily settle for those toxic people. Like if they don't like you for you, it's
Yeah.
probably best to not
I mean,
hang
in
out with
all
that.
honesty, some people like, like you like to stay with them because you're like, what if I just never like have this kind of connection again? It's like, I hope you don't. They're toxic. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
actually, like, but yeah, like honestly, like you will all like there are a lot of people out there. A lot of people.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
you don't have to settle. Like,
There's
don't
probably one like
settle.
right at the pharmacy right now. You just need to talk to them and stuff.
Yeah. Just don't settle. Just
Yeah, and
be
have
you.
a hobby to kill some
Yeah.
time. I feel like that's good too.
Yeah, do something creative, do something uncreative, I
Yeah.
don't know, like
I mean, now we didn't even get to talk about this, which I know we're kind of going over time, but like we didn't even talk about the online friendships that people tend to make because of how COVID is now. Like everyone's kind of
mhm.
just going out and making social connections on social media. So that's on its own level of like crazy too, because you can't really know who that person is,
Yeah.
even though you have a shared
I
interest.
really like making online friends, but I really don't like when online someone assumes that we're like a certain level of okay, for example, like so I've been streaming recently on Twitch
Mm.
and like there are like some people who come into my chat and they come in like maybe every day for a week and then they think like I'm their girlfriend suddenly. I'm like, whoa, okay,
That's
mods, like
rough.
get
That's
them.
rough.
Yeah, so I'm just like, that's
Wow.
not how this works. And like, if you want to romanticize it and think that in your own head, that's fine, but don't comment it. Like, that's so awkward. Like, I'm like, I'm just trying to play
Ew,
video
I'm just
games and
imagining that.
hang
That is
out.
weird.
Yeah,
Because if that's what they
so
wanted, they should have at least subscribed to something else. You know,
yeah,
like
like
if they
there are
wanted a
other places to
fantasy.
find stuff, but like,
Yeah.
I'm just trying to play video games.
Don't do it on Twitch. Like, come on,
Yeah,
guys. Like, you could
like
pick I wouldn't say better sites, but there are a lot other sites
yeah,
out
I mean,
there
like my
to
point is
feed
just
that
like
need.
online social relationships are very different from in person as well, and there's
Mm.
basic etiquette that's different online, and it's like harder for us to know because we're really old, so we didn't grow up with
Oh yeah, we're
the era.
boomers.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
both like, how old are you now?
I'm
80,
like,
88,
I thought it was just 57. Like I
you're
was 55 like
57.
2 months ago, so 57.
You're 57.
Yeah.
Damn, you look old for your age.
I know. Well, I'm wearing like my what is this? This era appropriate scarf.
Anyway, this will be the end of our video. So goodbye. We will see you on
Try
our
to make new
next one.
friends, just not with me.
That sounds about right. Bye.